Well, that's just great. Now my TV show is going to have tons of bugs and glitches. Roll commercials. I mean, kids. I mean, Rick on Stark's school of running away from things. I mean, damn you, Bethesda. You glitched my YouTube channel too.
It's the party. Let's just focus on the party.
Yeah, but it's a child's birthday party, and these adults were obviously hiding inside and watching TV to escape the mob of gremlins on a sugar high. Don't rob them of their sanctuary.
Why the hell is Cooper Howard working kids' birthday parties?
If you pay them enough, you can get famous people to do all kinds of things. For instance, someone keeps paying Vin Diesel to ruin my life.
What'd they say, Dad?
And I'm lucky to have such a good helper like you.
Lying fathers.
And if the cloud is smaller than you thought, now you run for the hills.
And what if the bomb drops on a prairie with no hills? What then, oh wise sage? Where do you run to? Here's a sin for giving incomplete advice.
Is it your thumb or mine?
The staging of the scene, the delivery of her line, and the way Tegan Meredith is shaking all gives me chills. Crap, I think one of our sins is about to fall out. Stealing from one of the most iconic episodes of The Twilight Zone. That's entirely too many nukes. Have some decorum. Have some class. One Tsar Bomba would have done the job.
My reproductive organs are intact, my hygiene well maintained.
How I imagine women in Texas will soon introduce themselves to prospective partners in another few years. And they'll have such stylish red dresses and white bonnets. I can't wait.
Oh gosh. After 10 years of cousin stuff, I'm definitely excited for the real thing.
10 years of cousin stuff. Ella Purnell isn't my bride in this scene.
When did it go away?
The moment I met your mother.
Show refuses to elaborate on how he met her mother for 9 seasons before culminating in a lackluster ending that audiences will hate for years to come.
Messing around with your cousin, it's all well and good for kids, but it's not a sustainable long-term sexual practice, you know?
Building your vault in Kentucky. That's right, I went for the easy hack joke. Come at me. Though, referencing Wikipedia, it is legal to marry your first cousin in a surprising amount of states. Hey, look, I found the actual sin.
So what's your sperm count?
You're asking this now? Right in front of his salad?
To keep the candle of civilization lit while the rest of the world has been cast into darkness.
This line isn't followed up with an America! F yeah!
Let's dance. Hit it.
Saying, let's dance, hit it, only to immediately play a slow song. When you say those words, your first selection needs to be an absolute bop, and then you can transition to a slow song. See, Mom and Dad, that $50,000 in tuition at DJ College wasn't a waste after all.
Show me to my new home.
Thinking that everything is yours immediately after marriage. My friend's wife informed him, right after they returned from their honeymoon, that those are no longer his pizza rolls. Is he still happy? Yes. Does he buy the 100-count bags now? Also yes. These fluffy pillow covers. Do you want to wake up every night with a sweaty face for the rest of your life? The pillow surface is supposed to be ice cold.
Well?
Spooky, sure, but did the Raiders kill this guy and then prop his stiff body in the chair and then take his leg? I have so many questions about the sequence of events that led to this death.
From the surface.
In a fallout shelter, wouldn't you think there'd be Geiger counters just constantly monitoring radiation levels in every room? How is Geiger management not priority 1 around here? Nope, I'm sorry. I don't care how tough living on the surface makes you. Nobody recovers that quickly from a dick punch. It's just science. Getting distracted by an alarm in the middle of killing someone. Wait, you're supposed to leave that in, I think. Or is that only with arrows? Suffice it to say, if anyone stabbed me with anything bigger than a splinter, I'm dying. No way that knife is sharp enough or that wall is soft enough to hold that guy up. Abandoning your melee weapon for a gun with 5 shots. Even after I get a gun in Fallout, I still use melee weapons 9 out of 10 times.
Get that jelly mold out of here!
Hilarious. But I'm still saying it because this is clearly a shouting run for your lives situation. Otherwise, they might just figure that the guests had finally come to their senses and no longer wanted jelly molds.
Sir, please don't make me use force.
Watching your Vault family die when you could have stopped everything by using the Force. This excellent 2-knife jump that somehow only results in a single shoulder wound. Deus Ex Machina. That's entirely too many pickles. Who's going to eat all those pickles? This is a picklepocalypse. When did they start rounding up people opposed to wantonly slaughtering them? Did we miss the set raiders to stun command?
Everyone knows who I am.
Forgetting to include the audience in your indefinite pronouns. Also, if everyone knew, they probably wouldn't have invited you to a wedding so you could slaughter everybody.
You look like your mother.
Being surprised when a child looks like one of their parents.
Maybe you should do what you do best. Run and hide.
Wait. So the villain's plan was to make the overseer choose between his people and his daughter. He chose his daughter, and then the villain just let the vault dwellers run to safety anyway? What kind of plan was this?
We are the finders and the preservers.
Yeah, I tried that same logic in court when the Nintendo police arrested me for my ROM collection. It didn't hold up. There's gotta be a better way than this to get a perp sketch. You're telling me they don't have access to a fax? They have power armor.
Well, shit isn't going anywhere.
Well, technically it's just an empty hole. The shit is still in the tires. Character is saved by a hero in a metal suit and grows up wanting to be just like them cliché. Look, it happened to both The Mandalorian and Pacific Rim, so I'm counting it. Shooting bricks because you somehow don't have the cognitive expertise to create a ball. Breaking the tire toilet so the next person has to shit with their bare ass cheeks on the tire rubber. Not putting a layer of gauze over your stitches. Don't come crying to me when your vault suit catches on them and snags and infection sets in. Actually, do come crying to me. I'll enjoy the confirmation of my rightness.
They don't want to find Dad. If they did, they wouldn't get to be in charge.
This seems like as good a time as any to sin politicians. All of them. Collectively. No one in the whole vault hears this alarm and comes to check on the elevator. Their one critical gap in security. Damn it, Norm. You had one job.
I'm too chicken. Thanks.
Confusing survival instincts for cowardice. Okay, fine. The visuals, sets, and effects for the show are fantastic. They nailed everything from costumes to Easter eggs to the vault to the wasteland. It's all spectacular, and this is how you adapt a video game into a television show. So go ahead, take another sin off while I'm still impressed. Scene does not contain a ruined Statue of Liberty for Lucy to fall to her knees and cry over. Well, you went full Indiana Jones 4, and you never go full Indiana Jones 4.
You're aware of their injury?
Yes.
Do you know who did it?
No.
Excellent use of applause to make your response seem untruthful for no reason.
I didn't do it. I did not.
Stealing your dialogue from Tommy Wiseau.
Violence against a brother of steel is a sign of weakness.
Well, then it's a good thing for Maximus. This violence was committed against a non-binary individual since they qualify as neither a brother nor a sister of steel. And yes, I just used my woke skills to absolve the character from a possible crime. I contain multitudes.
And I'd be grateful to the Brotherhood for giving my life meaning.
Thinking a cult will give your life meaning. Trust me, I've joined a few different ones, mostly through sex parties, and none of them help give your life meaning. They will, however, give you STDs. So there's that.
I told him you wouldn't hurt a fly.
Unless that fly was on a tire toilet, of course. Also, did Dane not realize that telling Maximus' commanding officers he's incapable of violence when it's the primary tool in their arsenal might hurt his career a little bit? This is kind of like a butcher finding out they've hired a member of PETA.
It is your most sacred duty to protect the Brotherhood. After which, it is your most sacred duty to protect the mission. After which, it is your most sacred duty to protect your Lord, Knight Titus.
After which, it is your most sacred duty to not leave bits of peanut butter in the jam or vice versa. After which, it is your most sacred duty to, for the love of God, not call me when a text would do. After which, it is your most sacred duty to not run this joke into the ground. After which, it is the editor's sacred duty to cut me off. Isn't getting branded right before a mission going to be detrimental to your performance? I can barely do my job with a hangnail.
Our mission comes from the highest clerics.
Trusting clerics to assign your missions instead of paladins or druids. Clerics always have an agenda, man.
And may the shape of the future be cut by your sword!
Telling your knights to cut the future with their swords, but then only giving them guns. Do you expect them to find their swords in the wilds? Is this a JRPG with a loot drop system?
I don't know which grave. Well, Slim, we look for the fresh one.
And what if there are multiple fresh graves? What then, huh? You're going to a cemetery, right? Odds are multiple new graves are added since people die all the time in the wasteland, right?
A feral ghoul can't abide a chicken.
Feral ghouls don't abide anything. They'll attack and kill anything they come across, chicken or otherwise. I think you need a better test, Limehouse.
Wow, is this an Amish production of the Count of Monte Cristo? Or this is the weirdest circle jerk I've ever been invited to.
I f***ing love Walton Goggins, and I'd take another cent off if he hadn't just alerted me to the fact that people send out invitations to circle jerks, and now I'm just feeling left out.
Well, that don't sound like gratitude, do it, boys? How about we put you right back in that hole?
So you dig up this badass gunslinger to help with a bounty and you threaten him within 5 minutes of meeting him? Why not mention your father worked with him? Why not, I don't know, do anything besides piss him off?
This right here was your last job.
casting the tremendous talent that is McKelty Williamson and killing him within 5 minutes. Who do you think he is, Carrie Ann Moss, an acolyte? So what's sticking out of this guy? Screwdriver, piece of wood, maybe a saw, and another baby leg. This is America. I refuse to believe that even after a nuclear holocaust, the regular guns would be hard to find. Bullets are just easier than trying to figure out how to project random objects. This isn't a gun that would exist in the apocalypse. This is a gun that would exist in a video game and Easter egged into the apocalypse. Letting a perfectly good chicken go to waste. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to get farm fresh eggs in the apocalypse? How about we normalize trigger warnings for sudden puppy incinerations? Or, normalize not putting them in TV shows at all so that I don't have to bleach my frontal cortex?
Sit. 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 Sit.
Excitement? Dr. Wilzig is developing perhaps the most important piece of technology ever, the key to infinite resource-independent power. And yet his work is so poorly monitored, he's able to Shawshank Redemption a grown-ass German Shepherd. I'm no neck doctor, but I feel like that injector goes way too deep for the device to still be visible on the surface of his skin. In fact, I'd say he's lucky to be alive and still able to wiggle his fingers and toes without smelling burnt toast. Also, did it really need the glowing lights? Why did he think a, look here, this is probably important beacon would help his mission to save the world? These guards, who are presumably responding to the alarm in Wilzig's lab, completely ignore Wilzig as he casually makes his escape.
Go, 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 go.
Good golly, this is one of the most they survive this-iest moments I have ever seen. How does one program a defense turret with a Darth Vader level ability to sense nearby enemies, but a stormtrooper level ability to actually shoot them?
Feet of tinder for the tiniest kinder. Inside your kindling cabin for old Abe Lincoln.
Although it has a bunch of fire-related words in it, there's no way Lucy learned how to build a campfire from whatever nonsense she's babbling. Also, she's got the general shape right, but this kindling situation is not conducive to fire starting. Yes, I watch a lot of Survivor, and no, they won't let me sin it anymore.
Enlarged thorax to ward off attack. Extended antennae in order to hunt in packs.
Does Wilzig make a habit of stopping at random campfires and expositing about post-nuclear etymology? Because this seems like a very quick way to prematurely end your mission to save the world.
Sir, I'm looking for my father. He was kidnapped by this woman named Moldaver.
Asking random men who show up at your campfire talking about cockroaches where your dad is, instead of making sure he isn't, going to kill you.
You come from a world of rules, of laws. This place is indifferent to all of that.
2025.
I see you went with the tempered lining on the T60. Does that help with mobility?
Actually, for increased mobility while wearing T60 power armor, you'd want kinetic servos to increase action point refresh speed while moving, optimized servos to reduce action point cost while sprinting, or overdrive servos to increase sprint speed at a higher action point cost. Whoa, what just happened? I blacked out and all I could hear was Homer Simpson screaming, "Nerd!" Tossing what I can only assume is a vital piece of your armor to a guy sitting next to a wide open door during a turbulent flight.
I'm bored and I want to shoot something.
Cutscene skippers. Partaking in a light luncheon next to a cave of nuclear waste. Unless you enjoy seeing flavors and tasting numbers. Also, letting your dog run into a cave of nuclear waste. Unless you enjoy taking your luncheon while petting a vomiting and bald German Shepherd. Owning a dog and not understanding the rules of fetch.
They were here? A man?
Titus sat down in a random field to follow his God-given right to shoot things, and yet they still managed to stumble upon the tiny campsite belonging to the one scientist and dog combo they're chasing.
Go see if the target's in there.
But my lord, I don't have armor.
You earned the suit through acts of bravery. This is an act of bravery.
The show wants us to hate Titus so much that it forgets how wildly stupid and impractical it is to risk his squire's life like this. If Maximus dies here, who's going to carry Titus's bag or polish his nut cup? Apparently, neither of them spotted the giant pus-oozing werebear sleeping just feet away from them. I guess they thought it was a rug? It's funny, but this isn't Looney Tunes. The bear should have lost half of its face when that barrel exploded. Oh, shit. If I'd have known this was TV and movie star Michael Rappaport sooner, I would have, well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I would have felt something.
You gotta be the worst f***ing squire there is. This is all your fault. You dumb motherfucker, you. It's back.
Berating the hand that stimpacks you.
They'll kill you for this.
Not if I bring back the target.
What's his plan here? Either he's planning on holding the target hostage until they promise to make him an official knight, or he's just assuming that bringing in the target will afford the right amount of goodwill to offset his failures as a squire.
You got water?
Oh, would you like a sip? Here.
Letting a filthy guy in his underwear that you just met drink out of your only water bottle. If the war mutated the cockroaches, imagine what it must have done to the cooties. Thank goodness that Maximus removing Titus from the armor and standing the armor up all happens off screen. I'd have been forced to sin the shit out of that bullshit if they showed it. Maximus has apparently decided that the huge bag of supplies he was carrying around without a suit of armor is too inconvenient to carry around now that he does have a suit of armor. Either the Brotherhood of Steel provides power armor training to all of its rookies, which seems unlikely, or we're meant to believe that this armor is so intuitive that anyone can use it, which also seems unlikely. The sets and world building is so impressive in this show that I'm going to take a sin off. For that, and this two-headed cow, it looks real cuddly. Nope, I'm calling absolute bull nonsense on Lucy being able to spot this was Vault Tech just by looking at its backside through a dirty window and down the street. Two-headed cow? Fine, but not this shit.
Barb, get in here. You gotta see this.
You Barver, come take a look at this cliche.
This Moldaver broke into my vault, took my dad, and killed...
And I'm telling you, you're gonna go through a whole lot worse if you stay around here.
Both of the people Lucy has met have spent most of their time talking about how she's going to get killed or have to do horrible things to survive. And yet not a single person has delivered on that, despite her looking extremely vulnerable and being in possession of rare supplies. The show appears to have been going for dangerous Mad Max wasteland, but firmly landed in Watto's junkyard from Star Wars Episode 1.
Clean hair, nice teeth, all 10 fingers. Must be nice.
And you would know, since you have all 10 fingers as well. So far, everyone Lucy has met has had all 10 fingers, so I'm thinking that's not quite as big of a deal as Ma June is making it out to be.
Well, I know that it can't have been easy for you up here, what with all the murder and the dirt.
Thing my parents said when they saw my dorm room in college somehow makes it into the script.
The vaults.
Well, I don't disagree. June appears to be kicking Lucy out based on principle instead of trading with her. I mean, she's got to be one of the few people around here with something worth trading, right? Apparently, this scarcity-driven society is leaving out free food for customers' dogs. Come on, this might be the wasteland, but this is still America.
Wilzig!
There's no way the ghoul heard Ma June say Wilzig's name from that far away, so I can only assume that he didn't approach while Wilzig was walking down the street alone because the episode's pacing needed a shootout.
A hefty price on the head of a man that fits the description of that fellow right there.
We're about to see that the ghoul is quick on the draw and won't hesitate to shoot an unarmed man. Given that, Lucy's lucky her adventure doesn't end the moment she touches her pistol. Usually when you shoot someone in the ankle, you want to just slow them down. Make it so they can't escape. Not completely maim them, ensuring that they're going to die soon. Not to tell a ghoul bounty hunter how to do his job, but that's one bounty that'll have to be brought in dead.
I got 1,000 bottle caps for whoever kills that f***er! But you don't get shit if I kill him first!
Everyone in this post-apocalyptic fend-for-yourself society takes Ma June at her word. I refuse to believe this gun holds that many bullets in one clip. It's too small, and the bullets are too big. That's just science. The director told him to eat some tiny tomatoes because apples won't survive a nuclear apocalypse, and we still need to know he's an asshole. If getting shot doesn't affect him, why did he bother shooting up the entire town instead of collecting his bounty and absorbing the bullets like the apparent Terminator he is? Also, I've been told that ghouls aren't any stronger or more resilient to bodily trauma than humans. And I don't remember the ghoul's jacket being bulletproof, meaning he's just apparently invincible? Cool. Great job taking all the tension out of what was a pretty badass gunfight. Lucy opens this huge book and immediately sees Moldaver's name. Either Moldaver is frequenting this place every day, or this thing should be titled The Book of the Damned Convenient. Hiding behind a flimsy wooden thing protects you from all of the bullets, cliché. Sure, the bullets explode on impact, but one day, maybe just once, a bullet will survive and whoever finds it will be very impressed that I took the time to do this engraving. Earlier, we saw Ghoul load up his shotgun, but where did it go after that? He's immediately back to using his pistol and his shotgun isn't even in its holster. Inquiring nitpickers need to know. Chekhov's junk jet. Wait, she doesn't even use it? Or any of the other guns on the wall? Why is this scene?
She said stand down.
Deus Ex Maximus.
Knight Titus of the Brotherhood of Steel, stand down or be cut down.
You gotta be f***ing kidding me.
I agree. It's crazy how people keep trying to talk you down instead of immediately and aggressively trying to kill you. Shooting at Lucy, who is essentially unarmed instead of the giant metallic Goliath behind you. And just like that, Lucy is crushed under power armor and rubble and is now dead. I hope she saved her progress. Going through all those cutscenes again and again is such a time suck. Not being able to count to 4.
Listen, that man is important. I've been sent here to find him.
He's so important that even the universe knew to bring 3 different parties to the same place so he could be found by all of them at the same time. Also, Titus has time to explain this instead of giving me a "there's no time to explain" to sin instead. A person can bleed out from the femoral artery in as little as 2 minutes. Wilzig should be in shock, unconscious, or massively deceased.
Well, I'd say come up here and get me, but it's hard to walk upstairs when you're wearing a 12-piece cast iron skillet set.
Why does he keep shooting at the power armor when it's clearly not effective? Those explosive rounds from earlier might have helped a little more, but I guess he used all of those on the unarmored townsfolk while he was trying to look cool. I'm going to keep hitting this because it keeps getting more insane. Wilzig, a garden variety human of the science nerd variety, had most of the bottom portion of his leg blown off. And then he had the rest chewed off by a replacement leg, and he is currently crutching it to freedom. I stubbed my toe once, and I was out of commission for a weekend.
Besides, no offense, but you're in no condition to travel.
Lucy would be excellent at limping across the wasteland after losing half your leg, Sins.
She and her kind hole up across the hole.
What's the hole?
Well, just get to the coordinates.
I get that Ma doesn't want to scare Lucy, who's already overwhelmed, but surely she could provide more than that, right? If June wants her payment, she should do all she can to ensure Lucy succeeds. Armor to the teeth, lady. Don't usher her out the door with no extra supplies and only a map marker to head towards. Throwing the guy you're fighting instead of curb stomping him. All you're doing is giving him more distance to shoot you from. Don't get me wrong, it's impressive that he manages to snag Maximus with the tow hook on the first try. It really adds to the whole cowboy aesthetic he has going on. I'm just not sure what good it did considering Maximus was flying out of control regardless.
Soon someone make you grow an entire new foot, maybe.
Undermining your snake oil pitch with a maybe. This raider, someone whose entire life revolves around murdering and pillaging, doesn't even consider trying to take the power armor from Maximus. Doesn't he know how much easier murdering and pillaging are with armor? CX-404 forgives the ghoul way too fast after he heals her. He's the one who stabbed her in the first place and tried to kill her master. Stimpaks may be absurdly effective near cure-alls, but they don't fix mental trauma. You'd think she'd at least growl at him a bit more.
Listen, I don't know who you are or how you know the things that you do.
Apparently, their game of license plate alphabet and I Spy were so compelling that she never once brought up either of these things during the entire night of walking.
Vault-Tec Plan D. It was the most humane product that Vault-Tec ever made. It was quick, painless, tasted like banana.
Cyanide kills by preventing the cells in one's body from absorbing oxygen. And if you've ever held your breath for an extended period of time, you know how uncomfortable a lack of oxygen feels. Now imagine that feeling steadily worsening throughout your entire body over the course of around 5 minutes. So, despite how often it's portrayed in fiction, there's no way to make death by cyanide anything other than agonizing, banana flavored or not.
You know, not my whole body, just my head.
Pardon?
Having the foresight to pack a chainsaw for your trip through the wasteland just in case you need to have someone remove your head. And I will not be accepting any, yeah, but maybe he just thought it would be useful for chopping wood bullshit counterpoints.
It'll be easier if you carry my head.
He has precious few minutes to convince her why taking his head is so important, and he is yet to even hint at the actual reason. As if carrying the head of a cadaver is the most normal thing in the world. Damn it, give her something, man.
I knew I could trust you. You are a vault dweller.
But you've been telling Lucy to go home since that night when you creeped into her campsite unannounced. I think your trust is just the blood loss talking.
Okie dokie.
Ending your episode with a sudden and unpleasant cut. I'm fine with flashbacks, I really am, but the timeline of the show has already spanned 219 years, and now we're going all the way back to the Big Bang? Huh, no smaller than I thought it would be. Episode makes you think we're in the real world, but we're actually on the set of a movie or television show. Cliché.
There's an old Mexican eulogy. Feo, fuerte y formal. Means he was ugly, strong, and had dignity.
John Wayne homages that don't include terrible John Wayne impressions.
Do I really have to kill him?
This flashback is supposed to show us what a good guy Cooper was before he became an irradiated murder ghoul. But seeing this actor have an attack of conscience about fake killing a movie villain is not nearly enough to make me forget he stabbed a dog in the last episode.
Bob's a bit of a communist.
What about Bob? Also, the Red Scare, which was when sociopolitical control was fearmongered through unfounded accusations by unreliable sources based on perceived loyalty to subjective ideas of what does or does not make America great. I'm so glad the American people have progressed beyond that.
Please, because out here it's just you, your gun, and your personal code bringing order to the wild, wild west.
Except that's your personal code. Cooper's personal code was to be a good guy and not kill people in cold blood. Are we about to learn that Cooper became the Ghoul the same way Peter Parker became Spider-Man, except Cooper was bitten by a radioactive movie director? Because that's something I'd actually like to see.
You gonna save any of that grape taffy for the rest of us?
This meet cute fake out was so well written and performed that it legitimately made me smile. And let's remove a sin before I remember what taffy actually tastes like.
It's not grape, it's lavender.
Well, if you like the taste of lavender, why not just drink a bottle of perfume?
Cooper would be excellent at It's a Crime Against Humanity to make lavender-flavored taffy sins.
That's the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth.
Title of my sex tape? Thinking you've caught up to your target, only to find he's still ahead of you. I'm the best.
Come on, let's go find the rest of them.
The Ghoul doesn't have a Pip-Boy, and we've seen nothing to indicate he has superior tracking skills, and those tracks could belong to anybody. So I can only assume he always knows how to find whoever he's looking for in the vast, sparsely populated wasteland because plot. Eating unrefrigerated deviled eggs that have been in your backpack for a week.
All right. What is so special about you?
Asking a question post-decapitation that you'd have been much more likely to get an answer to if you had asked when he was still alive. Total recalling your tracking device. Last time we saw Maximus, his armor was flying out of control. Either he was somehow able to land and drag 700 pounds of armor to a nearby junkyard, or he crash landed in exactly the right place. In which case, convenient winch is convenient.
I'll be right back.
Choosing to leave your fancy and I'm assuming expensive full suit of armor behind in this scavenger-based society.
I can fix it. Cost you 5 caps.
I know there's probably an explanation for it in the games, but I really want to know how this bottle cap-based economy works. Seems like you could become a millionaire just by going to a lot of parties and drinking a lot of beer, and that's just, well, actually that sounds kind of awesome. I'm sorry, has he been walking around with bottle caps in his f***ing boot? What? And why? I wanted to make a selling your body joke, but what consenting adults do for their money is their business. So instead, I'll send this lamp for being turned on outside in the middle of the day. Of all the secondary weapons he could grab, he grabs a toilet seat. I know toilets is a running theme with this guy, but he can't get mad about it when he chooses it himself. Maximus ultimately wins this fight, but only because these first two guys decide to attack him one at a time instead of the 4 of them teaming up on him like they did the first time they kicked his ass. This works. Contemplating murder as a means for covering up your previous murder and identity theft.
Arise, my squire, and clean this.
Maximus squanders all the goodwill he got from us for being a mistreated squire by being a dick to another squire the first chance he gets. Also, I know this codpiece gag is funny and all, but I don't want armor with an easily removable codpiece. That shit needs to be bolted in place. Dropping your guard in this insanely violent and dangerous society because of a cute deer. I want to like you, Lucy, but you're making it very difficult.
You like grass?
Why, yes, I would. Oh, she was talking to the deer. Disney princessing your lead character in a post-apocalyptic, cannibalistic, mutated, scavenger-based society drama. Monster waits to feed until the moment when it will have maximum dramatic effect. Huge monster somehow manages to sneak up and surprise Lucy when she's looking right at it.
Where is it, the head?
Asking a woman you just met for head. So we've got 2 extra pairs of socks, 2 changes of underwear, the box of deviled eggs, blue pencil case, notebook with a zippered pouch on top, this leather case, and a couple of little brown boxes. I thought the Vault Dwellers wanted to rebuild America and they don't teach their children to bring the Cub Scout 6 essentials into the wilderness?
The whole opening the vault door for Lucy thing didn't sit too well with the council, so I guess I'm not gatekeeper anymore.
But Vince Clortho is still the keymaster, right? Vaults together, strong.
I've telegrammed with the overseer at Vault 31. Thank goodness they're unscathed.
Yeah, but before Lucy's wedding, you thought you had been telegramming with the overseer of Vault 32, and it turned out to be the Raiders. Your celebration of Vault 31's unscathed-ness might be premature.
I don't see any apples, sir.
Climb higher.
Even if we give Maximus the benefit of the doubt that he's acting like Titus to keep from being discovered, he's still wasting valuable time by sending Thaddeus on this fruitless apple quest.
It might not be an apple tree. Also, it's, I think, it's dead.
I'm no tree expert, but if it's got green leaves growing out of it, it's probably not dead. But also, making lame excuses to get out of work. Let's see, this takes place 219 years after the Great War of 2077, and Thaddeus is about 20 years old. So he would have been born in the 2070s. So that's 15 years per generational cohort, and following the Greek alphabet, that would put us at, let's see, Generation Sigma. So lazy.
You left the ghoul alive. Great idea, sir. All wastelanders leave radiation trails.
Okay, but if all wastelanders leave radiation trails, how do you know which one is the ghoul? Especially when you start scanning for the trail in the middle of nowhere in a place you don't even know if the ghoul has been.
If they left the body, it must be worthless.
His head is what's valuable. We need to find it.
Maximus is definitely jumping to conclusions. In a future where dentists buy teeth as a side hustle, there's a reasonable chance that somebody in the area might just be a head collector.
Ghouls. One day the Brotherhood's gonna eradicate every last one of those freaks.
That's ghoulist.
Stop! Torture is wrong!
Thinking that someone who shot a man's leg off and killed half a town has a firm grasp on the concepts of right and wrong.
In fact, as time marched on, I personally noticed a decided uptick in the amount of torture being doled out across the board.
For everyone concerned that 24 didn't exist in this alternate future. I can buy that radiation over hundreds of years could lead to this axolotl's vomiting teeth becoming more than vestigial and maybe even becoming grasping, like human fingers, but I refuse to believe they would develop bony joints and even fingernails. The show's determination to put this thing in the uncanny valley just takes it so far outside of the realm of scientific plausibility that it no longer suspends my disbelief. Was it worth it? Show? Was it? Attacking the giant sea monster with a spear when you have two guns. Pretending that after 219 years of poor oral hygiene, Ghoul would have this many teeth left in his head.
Those gulpers digest real slow. You got time.
But how do you know the gulper even ate the head? Or that that's even the same gulper?
Yeah, well, the wasteland's got its own golden rule.
Oh, what's that?
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time.
Side quests.
What are you doing?
Just refilling your water bag so you can stay hydrated.
How long does the water last? Because Maximus has been wandering around for a while now without having his water refilled. Also, since Maximus was a squire until like 2 days ago, wouldn't he know what Thaddeus is doing?
I grew up working on a fly farm. I was a so they'd feed us, and then they'd feed our to the flies.
Sure, it sounds disgusting, but given what we've seen of how other people earn a living in the wasteland, it also sounds like kind of a cushy gig.
Well, you know, people at the base, they used to beat the out of me all the time. This shipment of new recruits came in, and one of them was Maximus. So that's a funny idea. What if we beat the out of that guy instead?
Perpetuating the cycle of bullying in your quasi-religious order instead of ending it when you have the chance.
I can teach the Raiders Shakespeare, and when they're ready, Marlowe.
Don't forget Voltaire.
I'd be happy to teach them introductory calculus.
Being happy about math in any situation ever.
The water chip is destroyed. The vault only has enough water to keep our population alive for 2 months.
Multi-trillion-dollar facility designed to last through a nuclear fallout and ensure the survival of the species, yet they didn't have the forethought to provide a replacement water chip or the resources necessary to fabricate a new one. Is the Voltec Corporation the Fallout universe's Tesla?
It just occurred to me, we're definitely picking up an abomination of some kind or another. Just not sure. I'm not sure we're tracking the right abomination.
The fact that this possibility has not occurred to either Thaddeus or Maximus until now makes me question the quality of training at the Brotherhood of Steel. Even though, up until this point, we've never seen the Gulper break the surface until it attacks, it now chooses to make a leisurely approach and leave a huge wake because plot. Maximus can score 2 headshots on a bear from 10 yards away, but somehow he can't hit a target 5 times as big even once. Trudging slowly through the water to chase the Gulper when your suit can f***ing fly. Maximus conveniently killing and disgorging the stomach contents of the same Gulper that happened to eat the head is convenient.
Is that
the head?
Roll commercials. Walking, 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 walking. Bus full of dead people. Walking, walking. Excitement. What are Lucy and the Ghoul doing back out in the desert? They both want the head, and it's not like it's gonna retrieve itself.
On behalf of every decent American, I just want to say thank you.
Speaking on behalf of 17% of Americans without being voted into office first. Previously on I Remember All This Because I Just Binged It, Sins. We had a whole scene a couple episodes ago where Wilzig warned Lucy about these giant cockroaches, but this is the first one that we've seen since. Maybe Wilzig should have given Lucy the 411 on ghouls and gulpers instead?
How long since you first started wastelanding?
A long time.
It's a lot of vials.
Well, I've always been good at making money, Roger.
There's an analogy around the American healthcare system's money-centric model in here somewhere. Unfortunately, it's distractingly buried by the ghoul disease that prejudices a person's nose but leaves other cartilaginous tissues like ears untouched.
What did you say your name was?
Show continues its tradition of having characters walk together for days in the desert without asking each other basic questions like, what's your name?
People starved, my mother included. My dad dropped to 128 pounds, and he still refused to do anything like this.
Lucy's story about the plague makes me wonder how exactly the Volts survive something like that. If they're so dependent on the crops they raise that people starve when they can't work the fields, how do they manage to bounce back? Even in the best of times, if each Volt grows only one crop, which they apparently do, how do they manage to stay so healthy just eating corn or whatever? How are Volts?
Ass jerky don't make itself.
It doesn't make jerky at all, actually. The glutes have too much fat. What you really want is the forearm or calf muscle. Wait, why is everyone unsubscribing?
Morning, Woody.
Title of my sex tape?
200 years with no contact. The terrible things this creature must have been through.
Show expects us to empathize with this guy when 200 years of no contact with another human is a life most of us dream of. Also, this creature is clearly not 200 years old, and he was part of a pretty large group. His contact with you by way of your feeble attempt at interrogation is probably the most terrible thing he's had to endure.
I was there the first time that you tried rhubarb pie and ice cream.
You need milk, eggs, sugar, flour, and rhubarb at least to make those things. All we've seen growing in Volt 33 is corn. How are pie and ice cream?
Now you're getting it.
Not specifying whether the it she's getting is philosophical or intestinal.
How does that golden rule jive with what's going through your head right now?
Her golden rule was do unto others what you would have others do unto you. Can't remember anyone not drinking radiation water around her, so I'm not sure this counts, Mr. Ghoul.
There you are, you little killer.
Managing to take the saying an eye for an eye too literally and not literally enough at the same time.
Now that right there is the closest thing we've had to an honest exchange so far.
Actually, Lucy's been honest and forthcoming this whole time. You're the one who insists on dragging her through the desert without holding up your end of the conversation.
How are you handling the death of the father of your unborn baby?
Scene does not contain a smash cut to Jim Halpert to fully confirm Chet's social awkwardness.
Was one of the few things he truly loved. Get him talking about shoe maintenance and he'd just carry on until everyone left the room.
Show doesn't realize how suspicious it is that the vault door wasn't opened sooner and by Sharon specifically.
Oh, Bert.
Yes, I am Bert.
Bert's portrait would be amazing at TVSins.
Welcome.
And here's a sin removal dedicated to the amazing Matt Berry. If you don't know who he is, think discount Alan Tudyk, but make it British. But also the show pretending that this thruster isn't turning the floor and his lower appendages into a shade of marshmallow held too close to a campfire.
Now, what have we here?
Hannibal Lecter's snack drawer? Even cannibals need a good selection of finger foods.
That's much better, isn't it?
Thank you.
Not a problem.
This corpse finger that was stored unrefrigerated and yet somehow functions perfectly just seconds after it's welded to Lucy's hand. And yes, I can hear you all screaming, future this and advanced medical tech that, but in response, I shall provide you with one finger, aggressively raised.
I mean, I thought I was here to be a sex slave.
What? No! What a disgusting idea. I'm simply going to harvest your organs.
Then why replace her finger? I mean, except for the writers not being brave enough to give the protagonist a lasting injury to worry about.
Wait, they're getting Jell-O cake?
Pretty sure the Bible said something like, thou shalt not proclaim that Jell-O molds plopped upon a cake doth a Jell-O cake make. And if it didn't, it bloody shalt have.
Do you want it? Nobody's gonna know.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this in my fridge.
Spending time and resources baking rhubarb pies and giant cakes for prisoners during a water crisis that will, apparently, kill them all in 2 months.
Nora. Hi. Feel like getting out of the house?
Yes.
Discount Bert survives this.
Come on. You have to see this.
You better come take a see at this cliche. You mean that all anyone had to do to get into Vault 32 was move a few rocks? Why hasn't anyone from Vault 33 been in here to look for survivors, or stray raiders, or a new damn water chip to fix their water system? I'd like to point out that blood only stays red for a few days and turns black after about a week, but what? Why is everybody unsubscribing?
But eventually, overpopulation occurs. The mice fight for the once bountiful food, the once endless space. They eat each other in their desperation to survive.
Convenient abandoned TV tuned to exactly the right moment in a mouse documentary to perfectly explain what's happened to the people in Vault 32 is convenient. Also, if the inhabitants of Vault 32 did indeed turn to cannibalism, then obviously they died out because they weren't very good at it. There's a lot of wasted meat left on these corpses. Stop unsubscribing, you squeamish wimps!
Hold still now.
I don't want to tell Snip Snip his job or anything, but if extracting viable organs from Lucy's body is his goal, he might want to use something a little more, well, surgical than a f***ing 10-inch circular saw.
This won't hurt a bit.
That guy moves slower than normal, so James Bond can escape cliche. That's not how defibrillators work.
Do as I say and Snip Snip doesn't get hurt.
It's a fucking robot.
Yeah, you might as well be holding an air conditioner hostage.
You and Squirrel would be excellent at holding inanimate objects hostage, Sins. Why would one ever need to open all the involuntary organ donors' doors at once? Also, opening all of the safe doors required turning a dial, but opening all the dangerous doors only requires pressing a large red button that you might accidentally press when you get up to get a snack. How have these idiots not had their faces eaten off yet?
Okay, I think it's safe to say they went bananas.
It still doesn't explain how the Raiders got in.
True. Or why the Raiders didn't raid all the equipment in Vault 32 before they attacked Vault 33. But is any of that really as important as putting 2 and 2 together and realizing why the people in Vault 32 went bananas? Do we need to show you two the mouse documentary again?
I may end up looking like you, but I'll never be like you. Golden rule, motherfucker.
As badass as this moment is, I've been playing video games all my life, and my only thought right now is, why are you not searching that place for loot? Does she not realize that the stoners always have the best snacks? Handling fragile, valuable vials of medicine you need as if it's neither fragile nor valuable. Carrying items in a hat is fine when a better container can't be found. If only there were a box or something similar around here someplace. Pretending that a VHS would still play with this quality after 200 years, when they were barely watchable after 200 minutes.
There's an old Mexican eulogy. Feo fuerte y formal.
Cooper Howard Western tape coincidentally cued to the same spot as the scene we saw being filmed in the previous episode so that we can see that Cooper does indeed shoot the guy in the end is coincidental.
I hope you like the taste of lead, you commie son of a bitch.
Saying your quippy one-liner after murdering the person you're saying it to.
You ripped that thing inside out, its guts went flying everywhere? I thought it was dead meat.
That was really special.
It was not.
Titus and Thaddeus.
The T-Boys!
Except that name doesn't work because you don't have a hard T for your name. You have a TH. That's why Taco Tuesday isn't Taco Thursday, Thaddeus.
Get off me!
Designing super powerful, virtually indestructible power armor that can easily be rendered inoperable by an unarmed person with the right key.
I can't believe you let you brand me.
Thing every sports arena and stadium would say if they could talk somehow makes its way into the episode. The frequency with which the main characters randomly cross paths in this sparsely populated wasteland is staggering. There are people who live with me in my own house that I don't run into this often. And no, Lucy did not follow the tracker in Wilzig's head to get to Maximus. She's approaching from the direction that Thaddeus carried the head when he left the previous night. Stop showing vomit on screen. We don't need to see it. We all know what it sounds like. Have your characters puke off screen. Some of us are eating dinner while we watch TV.
Trust me, please, please.
What's your name?
I'm not Titus.
Asking someone to trust you and then immediately lying to them. Wow. Talking about good timing for passing out. Good thing she managed to hold on until she could release Maximus to catch her as she fell. Now Lucy is a clever one. Hiding the armor from scavengers is smart, but how Maximus managed to move 700 pounds of armor off the platform and behind these crates is a mystery.
Listen, I have a tracker that'll lead right to that head. Now, Seeing as everybody on Earth seems to be after that thing, I'm guessing that's what you're looking for, too?
Actually, as far as Lucy knows, only two people on Earth, the ghoul and Moldava, are looking for the head. The only way she could leap to the conclusion that Maximus is also looking for it is if she read the script.
You could have killed me when I collapsed back there, and you didn't.
I guess that's true, but Maximus could also need Lucy for more nefarious purposes later, as far as she knows. You know, like the organ harvesting operation she got brought to by the ghoul just one episode ago.
From a place where the worst someone can do to you is forget to say thank you.
I'm pretty sure you know about a dozen dead Vaulties, a half-blind pregnant lady, and a kidnapped father who might disagree.
I'm sorry, Reg. I just feel that in times of crisis, you need someone with experience.
Speaking in the voting line. We all know that true democracy requires you to stand in line quietly staring at the ground waiting for your chance to cast a ballot that's practically worthless outside of 8 swing states. How is there still paper to print out 200 years later? And if there is, why would you waste it here? Not knocking the importance of elections, but they still have f***ing computers they could use for this process.
At this rate, we'll have caught up by sundown.
There is no way Lucy could accurately come to this conclusion based on this map, which shows no landmarks, no distances, and has no indication of scale.
So, like, Earth is round, Earth is flat. Where are you guys at on that these days?
Realizing this is an example of an actual question that might be asked in the year of our Lord 2025. Data, 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 data. Excitement?
It is my honor to announce.
I'm sure some of the nuances of baking were lost during the war, but the Jell-O to cake ratio of this Jell-O cake is unforgivable.
Are you trying to us?
The Asylum's knockoff version of my sex tape? Lucky for Maximus and Lucy, these friends clearly took all the same classes together at the Stormtrooper School for Aiming at Things.
You've been shot.
I know we're probably just supposed to accept that this is a natural thing to say after you see someone's been shot, but I'm here to tell you it is not a natural thing to say. He knows he's been shot, Lucy. Lucy.
What you gotta do when you put a few posters up and let democracy run its course.
Perhaps the most science fiction-y part of this show is that political tack ads somehow didn't survive a nuclear holocaust.
When things look glum, vote 31. It's a powerful slogan.
It is not. It relies primarily on slant rhyme, which is the weakest of all rhyme structures.
You might as well be asking why everyone prefers Jell-O cake to apple pie.
Considering the jiggling abomination that is a Volt 33 Jell-O cake, everybody should be asking this question.
This isn't real, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that is actually a billboard.
The entire purpose of my vault was to come up to the surface one day and restart civilization. It's Reclamation Day. It's what keeps us all going, and it already happened without us.
For some reason, after interacting with human civilization, such as it is, for a week, it takes seeing a billboard for Lucy to realize that civilization has restarted without the help of the residents of the vault system.
Hey, come.
Forgetting the full spell title of Power Word Come, and not being a bard when you try to use it. Stealing your nuclear survival tactics from Indiana Jones.
Titus, this is more than just a graze. We have to get you something from somewhere.
Sound advice from someone who apparently got her medical degree from Wikipedia.
We need to get the head.
The head can wait.
Blowing off such an important job. I mean, not giving your brain to the job at hand. I mean, going down without a fight. I mean, just in it. According to the show's timeline, Shady Sands was destroyed 13 years ago. But even though most of the city is a crater, somehow the lights and computers in this building are still working. Requiring 3 separate touches to the door to realize there's no knob present. Why would they put toast in this toaster? And when did they put toast in this toaster? That bread should have already popped up or be a smoking piece of charcoal at this point.
Find anything interesting? Great job cleaning up.
I'll say. Norm and Chet were in here maybe 2 days ago. In that time, Betty and whoever she is working with managed to remove all the bodies and debris, repaint, and refurnish this entire vault. Norm has a gift for understatement.
The Raiders destroyed so much, but not our spirits.
As someone who personally knows a Raiders fan, I can tell you their spirit was destroyed many years ago.
When my mother died, what happened to her Pip-Boy? It was buried with her.
But why would you bury valuable working technology in a post-apocalyptic world where parts must be scarce? I don't know how Betty got elected to office. She is a terrible liar. I don't know how many of you have woken up after being knocked out by anesthetic gas, but let me tell you the one thing you're not doing right away: walking with perfect balance. Falling from where? Unless the construction in here is particularly shoddy, this very prominent warning sign seems completely unnecessary directly below this completely intact ceiling.
Where are we?
It's okay. We'll be all right.
Premature optimism is premature.
We're in the best place in the world. We're in a vault.
Describing a vault as the best place in the world after recently learning that the people in your vault have been lying to you your entire life. And after having been knocked unconscious, kidnapped, and left on an unattended gurney, presumably by the inhabitants of this vault. What happened to the H in tech? You know, H, as in, have we brought the apocalypse upon ourselves by valuing cutesy corporate names above the continued existence of humanity and a non-bastardized syntax as we know it?
Today, I'm here to show you a vast and wonderful place. Not made by God Almighty, but the working man.
I'm sorry, but is made by the working man a selling point to the 1%ers who will actually be able to afford these bunkers? Shouldn't he add something like, soaked in the working man's tears, which pair well with the white wine from the Loire Valley? Also, convenient expository backstory monologue given in the form of an actor character's orientation video is convenient and backstory-y. Thinking that underground ashtray is a look to aspire to when you're pitching to the rich and powerful.
Each one of these underground burgs comes with all the modern amenities you've come to expect from our rip-roaring republic.
Besides sunlight, of course. And I very much doubt they're letting cars down there. I don't think we've seen a movie theater either. But you'll have lots of corn.
I came over to Vault Tech in Q3 after a 10-year stint at West Tech.
The only spelling of tech more egregious than tech with no H is tech with a K. I think we should skip the vaults. Humanity is clearly doomed.
You know, the design flaws were ridiculous, but they sure looked great.
Did Mr. Overseer of the Southern California operations just introduce himself by announcing he and his prior employer were complicit in criminal negligence in the production of military equipment on a massive scale? After said negligence apparently led to multiple deaths in the field? Did anyone get that on tape? Or vinyl?
Roosevelt, I'm sorry you can't come, buddy. I'm heading into enemy territory.
Not realizing that a dog is the best way to disarm enemy defenses and weed out the dog haters. So you know who to really be suspicious of.
I'm telling you, radicalism is sweeping through Hollywood like a bad case of the clap.
Suggesting that there are good cases of the clap.
I'd say the future is golden. To the future.
Juxtaposing jump cut cliche. Also, since we have no other context, I think we can assume his current state is the result of the healing poison vial binge the night before. But what's the benefit of taking that many at once? He seemed to imply that he needed a steady dosage every day, meaning he just wasted a vital, expensive resource, passed out in enemy territory, and now is in no state to defend himself. How has he survived 2 centuries exactly?
The government.
We're led to believe this blow to the head is enough to knock out a ghoul when we've seen him take an armory's worth of bullets while barely flinching.
We were lucky to find such a hospitable community here in Vault 4.
Yeah, so are we.
Premature, this isn't a cultibration.
You smell good.
I can still see blood on her vault uniform. There is no way she actually smells good.
You want to have sex?
You mean use my cock?
Yeah.
I don't know. That weird thing could happen.
Forcing me to relive my high school bloopers reel.
I'm a knight of the Brotherhood. We're not supposed to.
Not understanding how baby knights of the Brotherhood are made. Aren't Lucy and Maximus going to see this sign when they walk out of this room for the next scene? Doesn't everybody in this vault see this sign? Who is this sign for?
This is a cult. Same as any.
Says the man who let himself be branded so that he could join the next circle of the Brotherhood.
It's not a cult.
Says the woman wearing the uniform of her cult.
That was weird, right? The Overseer? I'm talking about his eye.
I don't know. Should we think it's weird for a nuclear fallout world to have mutated humans? Is it weirder than the ghoul? Is this just Lucy being surprised by things again? Tell me where to set my expectations.
Back to being a real cowboy again.
And what would I do?
You would look pretty and help me raise chickens.
Okay, but if she's raising chickens, who's doing the cooking, cleaning, and child raising? Damn it, Coop. Who taught you to misogyny anyway?
Bud Askins.
Bud Askins. Trust me, I know.
Show didn't completely commit to the bit by just calling him Butt Ass Kiss.
It guarantees us a spot in the vault.
We've got money. We can buy a spot in the vault.
One of the good vaults.
What's that supposed to mean?
What she could have said is that just like reality, some vaults will be more affordable, which means fewer luxuries. Instead, she settled on an expression that said, oh shit, I just gave away that some of the plebes are being chopped up and used as axolotl tongues.
Guess you had one of your meetings, huh? One of your communist meetings? Come on, man. We watch people die together up north fighting against all that horse shit.
And the award for most awkward, most expository introduction to a random new character goes to...
They can't sell vaults if these peace negotiations go through. So Vault Tech has the fiduciary responsibility to make sure that it don't work out.
But if the peace negotiations fall through and the world ends, what good will money be? You don't let the world go to hell for fiduciary responsibility. Most of your investors would be dead anyway. Also, peace talks or no, there's always going to be someone willing to buy space in a vault. The world is always ending for someone, and the rapture is always around the corner, even if it does change its mind occasionally.
Come on, man, you sound like you're in a cult.
Maybe you're the one in a cult.
Stay with me here. But is this episode about cults?
You know, no dogs in the vaults.
Not doing apocalypses the way God and Noah intended. Great sight gag, but how has nobody designed a nose-resting monocle for the poor guy?
If you want to get elected, you have to respect their traditions and tolerate them.
Teasing us with a time when this was true.
What's on level 12 and why can't we go there?
What he could have said is that level 12 is for something gross like waste management or knitting. Instead, he settled on a reaction that says, oh, I just gave away that level 12 is where the plebes are being chopped up and used as axolotl tongues.
Where do you guys get your power from?
They keep level 12 a secret, but they're fine with showing a guy fresh off the street where their most important asset is and leave him there completely unattended.
I see you found our fusion core.
Birdie conveniently walks in as soon as Maximus tries to steal the fusion core, as if she had nothing better to do all day than follow him around and wait for her big moment.
How about you sleep in a room of your own tonight? Have a hot shower.
We get it. She's Eve tempting Adam with the forbidden fruit. But she's not even offering him knowledge. Shelter and healthy hygiene are way lower on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That foosball table is entirely too close to the wall. That guy's gonna bang the shit out of his elbows. This vault really was created by monsters. Believing caviar actually tastes good once you strip all the pretentiousness away and simply present it as the salted fish eggs it truly is. Reading.
Would you mind?
Yes, I would mind. I just spelled out your impressive credentials, so there's no way in hell I'm untying you just so you can sew your trigger finger back on and demonstrate said credentials before escaping. What am I? A fucking moron? It's been at least a day since Lucy cut off the ghoul's finger. But we're not supposed to ask why he hasn't sewn it back on yet, because then the writers would have to come up with a new distraction and excuse to untie his hands once he got arrested.
Mind your fucking mouth. That's the president of the government you're talking to.
Making yourself the president of the government and not the president of something like Kick-Assville shows an extreme lack of imagination.
But that super-duper mart you gutted was under our protection.
Guilty as charged.
The ghoul taking credit for the chaos Lucy caused when all he had to do to profit from it was stuff some bags full of vials and get out of there.
Sheriff Rex, take Sheriff Troy's guns away.
Disarming one of your two armed goons because you're worried he'll kill someone you're about to have killed.
Take him out back and feed him to the hogs.
And make sure you get real close to him so he can easily turn the tables and kill both of you. This president is doing such a job of killing one guy, I'd hate to see him work on balancing the budget.
That's not how I remember her at all.
Yeah? Well, how do you remember her?
He might as well just look into the camera and say, I think it's time for another flashback, ghoul. Shh.
We bring back those taken from us by covering ourselves in their ashes.
And right as she put the dead people on her face, what are the chances?
Bring back Shady Sands, blood must spill.
Where are they getting this blood? I can't imagine the vault dwellers would be giving up their blood bank supplies to this tradition. And if it's from the surface, none of the consumers should live to see the next orgy. Also, it's pretty bold to invite someone new to this ceremony, someone who has nothing to do with Shady Sands at all and just assume she'll be fine with the nudity, blood drinking, and people makeup. Giving us a reaction shot and then cutting away before showing us what she's reacting to. Then spoiling that reveal with another reveal that reveals the first reveal before it can reveal itself. Then cutting back to the first reveal, thus spoiling your original reveal.
Check this out. These are called oysters. You want one? They make you feel so good. You want to make my explode now?
Oysters are not proven to raise libido, and since Maximus has never heard of oysters and doesn't know they're supposed to be aphrodisiacs, it can't be the placebo effect. So Maximus is just horny and ready to drop his brotherhood vows faster than Lucy can drop an okie dokie.
I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to go back on our deal and just be somewhere that is good and safe. But this isn't it.
They gave me a robe.
For some reason, Lucy doesn't believe that saying I was just in a ceremony where half the vault worships the woman who kidnapped father will constitute as proof. Restricted? Restricted how? There's no gate, no guard, and the overseer tells you right where to go. The elevator button doesn't need a Pip-Boy, key card, and heck, it's even an inviting shade of green. And this isn't even the trap. Exploring a top-secret floor with your light on so it's easier to spot you. Walking past and missing a giant sea monster on your desperate search for clues. It's so convenient that this Museum of Medical Ethics Crimes just left their orientation video and most damning evidence all queued up for the next nosy newbie break-in. So far in my life, I had managed not to see a woman give birth to mer creatures, and I was happy. But thanks to this show, my streak has ended. Sure, she wants to know what's going on, but her whole reason for being here was to prove to Maximus that the vault is dangerous. But how is she supposed to bring back evidence? I'm pretty sure those Pip-Boys can't take photos and print them out.
Hello?
Not even checking the spot you heard the sound come from before running away takes a special sort of willful cowardice. Having a harpoon gun as your break glass in case of emergency weapon. Lucy's fighting would be more impressive if any single one of her opponents were doing anything more than just limply flailing their bodies at her. Oh no, not a cliffhanger. I wonder if the main character that people are tuning in to see, sorry, Goggins, will make it to the next episode. If he's amazed by this, just wait until he watches the finale of The Sopranos. Or porn. Or Fraggle Rock. I find it odd that Scenes of the Wasteland, the parts of this world with the least to look at, have the longest establishing shots. Show doesn't know how to less is more correctly. Not even pretending to have any organization or rigor to your bullet bucketing day like someone whose actual livelihood depended on this wood. Is the workday suddenly over because the camera got the shot? That combined bullet bucket is looking a lot more stacked than metal detector user's solo bucket. Sand sifter beats metal detector? I deliver this sin on behalf of the beachcombing community. Who would like to object?
Sandra, we're home.
Good to know traditional gender roles survive the apocalypse. Real men go to the beach to dig little holes while the girl child is left to defend the unfenced homestead from a desolate wasteland of outlaws.
Sandra.
Thank you, darling.
Sandra doesn't respond so the audience, I mean her father, can think Ghoul is eating her. In other words, kids.
There's always some new little faction out there. Brand new team of believers with their own dumbass ideas about how they gonna save the world.
And the new are always just as bad as the old. Case in point, Batista and Castro, Yeltsin and Putin, Miller and Eisner. 2 dead sons and living in an irradiated wasteland, but at least his daughter's still alive. It's important to look on the bright side when your chips are down.
When you think of the promise of the American dream, you think of California.
I do not. Cozy tea-sipping banner on a bench or a preacher posed at the head of the chapel congregation. Pick a vibe, lady.
There's a lot of money in selling the end of the world.
It's estimated that Americans spend over $60 billion annually on doomsday prep goods and supplies. And to be clear, I'm not sinning people for wanting to protect and provide for themselves and their families. I'm sinning the fact that you can find off-grid houses on Realtor.com.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of money in selling a political ideology that ends in bread lines.
I know he's specifically jabbing communism right here, but there's another popular political ideology that has resulted in breadlines: capitalism.
We were developing this kind of technology that's difficult to monetize.
We have cryptocurrency. We've literally monetized the concept of money. Get out of here with that difficult to monetize crap.
Cold fusion, infinite energy.
You can't go full Cold War cliche without a fusion energy trope.
I got a little showbiz secret for you. A good bad guy doesn't see themselves as a bad guy.
Heath Ledger's Joker has entered the chat.
America has been locked in a resource war for over a decade.
This has been the longest multi-generational decade that I've ever seen.
I'm not a communist, Mr. Howard. That's just a dirty word they use to describe people who aren't insane.
So she's arguing that she is insane?
She needs to see the holotape.
All right, play the tape.
I'm going to be generous and assume these two already discussed possibly needing to show her this tape, and that's why it happens to be ready to go just a finger's reach away. But this is this facility's second use of conveniently primed video exposition in back-to-back episodes, so I'm going to send it anyway. Twice.
The creature in the video was actually my great-uncle Peter on my mom's side.
Pedigree needed.
I'm so sorry. I had no idea the original vault dwellers here were so weird.
Apologizing for not knowing something they repeatedly refused to tell you. Turning this pattern all the way up to 11. I was going to take a sin off for the creativity of these exhaust jet support columns, but then I noticed the actual support scaffolding underneath. Missed it by that much. Also, this car's paint has been sitting through 200 years of rain, rust, and radioactive fallout, but still has color. What is this magical protective coating, and why aren't they painting their houses with it?
Oh, shit. I'm gonna f***ing die.
How is he not dead already?
Oh, hey! It's my foot. It's not food, okay?
Jumping to the conclusion the dog is planning to eat the foot. The dog could just be a Tarantino fan. I started to laugh when I saw that these people brought popcorn to what ends up being a public banishment, but then I remembered that vendors have sold food, drink, and even souvenirs at public executions throughout history. The sin is the human race. Also, did they really waste space stocking centuries worth of paper popcorn buckets? Those don't look recycled or reused. Is there a paper factory down here?
For causing harm to a fellow survivor, you are hereby sentenced to death by banishment to the surface!
The ludicrous way that Lucy survives this is such a great subversion of expectations that I'm taking a sin off. But also, I'd like to understand why they are giving the sword to the guy with no depth perception.
My friend really likes it here. And he's a good person.
Who's about to do something not good and get banished right along with Lucy, because saying one thing and doing the opposite is world-class comedy that never fails to amuse. Ever. Eye patch and forehead here are on the wrong side because flipping the image is easier than reshooting the scene, even if it creates a continuity error. There's no crash pad at the bottom of the unconscious people chute. I feel safe giving both Lucy and Max a retroactive they survived this sin.
We don't have oysters in my vault. But if you like oysters, I'm pretty sure you'll like canned tuna.
Comparing that chewy piscine gunk to an oyster.
I was supposed to marry a stranger from another vault.
Previously on Skip.
Titus, I can honestly say you are the best stranger that I've ever met.
That's a low bar, Lucy. A few days outside have really rock-bottomed your standards.
When all of this is over, you could come and live with us in Vault 33 with me.
Holy shit, is she proposing to him? Lucy's father justifiably murdered her exoricidal husband less than a month ago. Maybe she should take a little time before jumping into another marriage.
He was threatening me, so instead of helping him, I watched him die.
Lucy will forgive this immediately because of...
I just threw acid in an innocent man's face.
But as far as Lucy knew, that guy was going to harm her. So her scenario was pretty clearly misunderstood self-defense at worst. I'm not saying Maximus shouldn't be forgiven, but maybe give it a minute, Lucy. Damn.
Just a reminder that I don't take visitors at the station. A simple postcard will suffice.
Is there a functioning mail system in the apocalypse? Because how the f*** would that work?
I've seen this condition before. Sometimes fatal.
Sometimes fatal? Sometimes? Are we supposed to believe that several people have survived this without plot armor?
What a difference.
Are these people huddling on the other side of this door so they can stick their arms through at the same time, thereby exposing their limbs to external injury and blocking the opening to deliver the food they are presumably grabbing for?
Wherever you end up, that's where you belong.
Fatalism.
People are going to be upset when they hear about this.
People like to have something to fuss about.
Treating mass murder like it's the same amount of bother as feeding a finicky baby.
You're a coward. You know that shit?
Well, isn't that just the coward calling the coward a coward?
I'm too chicken.
We all are, Norm. That's why we live in a vault.
Touche, cousin stuff. I'd almost de-sin you for self-awareness. Except that Lucy clearly proved you wrong in episode 1. Pairing an earbud without accessing the Bluetooth settings. You'd think the wealthiest company in the US would at least ask for a pin. The only reason he would unwrap the head is to remind an unseen audience that he has it. Otherwise, he's just some guy carrying around a rotting human head, and I'd imagine that even in this world, that's not common enough to be considered normal.
The thing no one appreciates is these are the original recordings.
I get it, Carl. My CDs don't have the depth of sound that your records do. But at least I get invited to parties. I mean, I don't go because people, but whatever.
Great job on these booby traps, by the way. Really good. Hey, thanks.
These comically large bear and rat traps might actually work against the mindless ghouls, but this guy still has a nose, so he was probably just an idiot. Also, why leave the bodies? Are these booby traps one use only and now they're just foul-smelling lawn ornaments? Lucky for Maximus and Lucy, Thaddeus graduated summa cum laude from the Stormtrooper School of Aiming at Things. Not that it matters, because he's a ghoul now, and he was already stupid, but you're supposed to push, not pull, arrows through internal injuries. So that way you're less likely to bleed to death. FYI, for your next arrow injury.
This is good, no? The Brotherhood is the good guys?
Still not realizing 7 episodes in that there are no good guys. The uniforms, the shared utilities, the almost complete lack of personal belongings. Excitement? What kind of claustrophobic dystopia doesn't have surveillance in the control room? Or a video link to verify identity in classified chats? George Orwell does not approve. There are a lot of extra hallways around the entrance to Vault 31 for an underground bunker where you would expect space to be at a premium. This feels loud, as in, there's no way no one else hears this vault opening kind of loud. Oh god, there's just as much wasted space on the other side of the vault door for more slow, dramatic shuffling. At least it's symmetrical. The door closing would have been the perfect cliffhanger to the episode, but instead there's 63 more seconds of Norm walking through Vault 31's corridors. Awesome. Reminding me of this. Season finale wastes a full minute on this mostly silent flight over the wasteland. I can only assume someone is trying to catch some Dune love via creative osmosis, but forgot the stunning cinematography part. The sign pointing the direction to Philly is too small to be an effective directional marker for aircraft, but it's pointing over the edge of what appears to be a sheer cliff towering over a forest, so anyone following the arrow on foot would probably plunge to their death. Why is sign?
I fear you lied then.
No artifact, my lord.
Just as you lie now.
I'm still dumbfounded that Maximus would think that this conveniently smashed-in head, and all it definitely doesn't contain the artifact the Brotherhood knows it should contain glory, presented while wearing the armor of his former knight, had any chance of working. Why does he appear to be shocked that he walked into a trap he set up for himself? Also, when the Elder asked,
"Where's your knight?"
Maximus just said,
"He's dead."
And while non-committal in its nature, it isn't technically a lie. I think Maximus needs better representation.
How did Titus die?
He died running.
He did not. He died sitting. If you're looking for creative wiggle room, you should have brought the case to the Court of Metaphors, assuming you can find it and understand what it's trying to tell you.
So, if what you say is true, and you can lead us to the relic.
Not following this statement with the question, then why in the fruity didn't you bring it to me instead of waiting until you're in the stocks, you self-serving head tease? Although I can buy that these post-apocalyptic people can build a solid scrap metal fort, I have no idea how they managed to stand these cars on end and securely attach them to what looks like a very flimsy wall. Also, using these cars as fortification when your door itself is full of holes. Ghoul from afar. Ghoul slightly closer. Ghoul close up. Excitement?
The transmitter is always activated.
Well, maybe take it over to the boys in IT, have them take a look.
No, I can fix it myself. I just need to figure out where the Pip-Boy is trying to transmit to.
Finding out where the Pip-Boy is transmitting to, but not why the Pip-Boy is transmitting, does not solve the problem.
The basic idea is that the biggest obstacle to achievement has been the brevity of the human lifespan. It's prevented us from working on projects that require centuries, maybe even millennia to see through.
Several hundred cathedrals in the Great Wall of China have entered the vault.
So ideally, Buds will keep my project on track centuries into the future.
Pursuing immortality because you assume no one besides you is capable of keeping an executive training program on track after you're gone. Instead of pursuing immortality because it's the only way you're likely to read The Winds of Winter.
No,
Didn't they just have this conversation outside? Either Barb and Bud have a very short memory span, or the writers want to make extra sure that we know that Barb is aware that there's something weird going on with her Pip-Boy. Sure, that's an awesome view, but why would Moldaver set up the presumably sensitive electronic equipment she's hoping to use to power shady sands in a room that's open to the elements? Moldaver clearly doesn't know how to California will f you with its consistently inconsistent weather patterns properly. Who exactly is all this food for? Where do they get this food, and who is she trying to impress by blowing this much of their supplies in one sitting? Is it to torture Hank? To entice Lucy? I mean, it's not for Mama Rose.
All right. This one's it. I'll get it this time.
This individual is credited as Brain on a Roomba.
Nope. Just maybe I have to... Thank you, Betty.
Building a mobile brain enclosure that can keep you alive for centuries, but not engineering it in a way that can successfully navigate around a fallen broom.
No.
No.
This secret must be guarded. Don't go in there.
This is somehow worse than Vault 4 having zero security for level 12. Who planned the Vault security? How has it taken centuries to penetrate these ironclad defenses?
On behalf of everyone here at Vault-Tec, welcome.
Cooper making the decision to listen in on Barb on the exact day that this cabal of evil corporations reveals their evil plans of corporate cabal domination.
Our vaults have the resources to survive for centuries.
Yeah, unless that one critical part required to keep your water running gets damaged. Speaking of which, remember way back in episode 3 when the people in Vault 33 were told,
"The water chip is destroyed. The vault only has enough water to keep our population alive for 2 months."
Either that situation got miraculously resolved off camera, or the writers were just hoping we'd forget about it.
And in the event of an incident, time is the weapon with which we will defeat all of our enemies. That is how we will win the great game of capitalism, not by outfighting anyone, but by outliving them.
Except in addition to outliving your competitors, you'll also be outliving almost all of your potential customers.
Is this where my dad's from?
You'll never find out. Oh, he's gonna find out.
Damn you, hilarious brain on a Roomba.
America outsourced the survival of this country to the private sector.
Escapist TV forgetting to do the escapism part.
I propose we bring that same spirit of competition to our solution.
But just said...
Meanwhile, our competitors, every other human who isn't us, will be dead on the surface.
Meaning less competition and therefore a diminished chance of Bud's version of greatness. Oh, and again, very few f***ing customers.
We could intentionally overcrowd a vault so people have to compete to survive inside it.
Mark Burnett's plan for Survivor 75 somehow makes its way into the episode.
We have been developing a robot that delivers milk to the front door. It's quite intelligent. I would like to see a vault governed by it.
The hauntingly small leap this would have to take to be seen as a direct Amazon product placement.
What about using a vault to develop a super mutant soldier using illegal immigrants?
We could separate parents and children, and only the smartest kids reach adulthood.
Confusing the opportunity to further your species' survival prospects through social experimentation with a battle to see who is the archiest supervillain in Arch Supervillain Club.
There's a lot of earning potential with the end of the world.
There's a lot of earning potential selling weapons and whatnot to cause the end of the world, sure, but even if you did somehow earn money after the world has ended, given that you're living in a post-atomic wasteland, I'm thinking you wouldn't have much to spend it on.
I'm Henry, but everyone calls me Hank.
Automatic CGI de-aging tax.
I hate to be that guy, but you think you could give me an autograph?
Lucy's frenemyship with the ghoul had a lot of interesting potential, right up until that frenemyship failed the Bechdel test by looping her dad into the conversation. Okay, I may not actually understand the Bechdel test, but the coincidence alone is worth sinning.
I was meant to go on that mission. I met someone.
Skip. Sure, Kyle MacLachlan gets the fancy de-aging tech while the female lead has to slum it with a meager recasting.
When Vault-Tec bought my research, they made it proprietary. So only a trusted Vault-Tec minion
Do not
can activate
listen
cold fusion.
to...
All I need is for him to give me the code.
Show is saying that on the trusted Vault-Tec minion scale, Wilzig landed somewhere in the region of trusted to design infinite energy, but not trusted enough to have the activation code for said energy. An inconvenient truth if ever I saw one.
My mother. What happened to her? I think you know.
Now that she's heard the story, Lucy could probably guess that her mother is dead. But until she sees the necklace, she has no reason to know that her mother is this ghoul. Also, I kind of want to give props to Moldaver for strapping the zombified corpse of her best friend to a dinner table for the last 20 years for the sole purpose of making this dramatic revelation. And to shame a deadbeat husband in front of his daughter. The only thing stopping me is, seriously, did you not hear the sentence I just said? Norma's been standing here for quite a while, and yet Brain on a Roomba hasn't just injected him with whatever it was it wanted to inject him with earlier. Hey, are we going to give any explanation about any of this cold fusion stuff works? Nah, just make it look pretty and people won't care. Yeah, but it's 2025. Will that trick still work? Oh, I see the writers have already been sent home. LED Whirlpool it is.
Incoming aircraft.
Not taking the extra half second to complete your life's work before heading into a situation in which you might lose your life.
Barricade the doors! Don't let anyone in here!
Taking the precaution of barricading the doors when the room you're in is missing an entire wall.
Lucy, I loved your mother, but you stopped being your mother when she left home.
That's not how biology works. The Brotherhood minion had warning and everything and still couldn't be bothered to brace properly, as if achieving synergy with the flock of birds from Sully was his life's greatest aspiration.
I had to make a choice between their violent world and our peaceful one.
See, it's just like the trolley problem, except in this case, the trolley is a nuke, and not flipping the switch means no nuclear holocaust. They've spent an entire season trying to convince us that this armor is the key to surviving the apocalypse, but it turns out it goes down easier than an unarmed Maximus. Thank you, flag wavers. Now we know who's fighting. Except we already knew who was fighting. Maybe now you can put those things down and actually, join the fight. Or at least poke someone with the pointy ends.
First lesson, sticking with the pointy end.
Reminding me that these power armor knights should literally be able to stomp anyone not in power armor when the fight has actually been going on like this so far. Oh no, it's a lone gunman. What's he gonna do against a group of power armored knights? Facetiously quip them to death?
I bet that outfit makes y'all feel like a big man, don't it?
Oh, he is. Well, what's his next trick? Expose a very specific flaw in their armor and how he'll use that to his advantage?
There was a flaw in the welding just below the chest plate.
Okay, but they can definitely still kill him before he gets a shot off. His gun wasn't even loaded? Why is nobody firing? How did this work? Okay, some might call this fight scene by muzzle flash stick a bit of a cheaty way of executing a big action set piece, but cool, damn does it look cool. Also, cheating your execution of a big action set piece with this fight scene by muzzle flash stick.
Lucy, you're coming with me.
Listen, a lot of shit just revealed about Lucy's dad's involvement in the destruction of Maximus's hometown, and they both have my condolences. But there's a fine line between processing traumatic revelations and being completely and totally blind to the mass murderer suiting up in power armor downstage of you.
You're not gonna hurt me.
Underestimating Lucy's ability to let someone else hurt you.
But you let him go.
Well, it's easier to track a stuck pig than to ask it where it's off to.
It is not. It's just harder for the pig to answer. Although in this show. Also, is he expecting Hank to leave a trail of blood to follow from that little cheek wound while flying?
You coming?
Maybe, but since we just saw that you have to be able to fly to get out that way, I think I'll take the stairs.
I'll find you.
You don't need to find him. He's right there. Oh, right. Sorry, it's that time of the season for half-baked plot conveniences that undo character growth and relationship building for season 2. It's a lot easier than writing relationships that can actually move forward.
No.
Where has Moldaver been this whole battle? Why would she leave 0 eyes on her prisoner, the daughter who came to break him out, and the cold fusion reactor at the center of everything? Here's what Moldaver had to do for this dramatic switch on to work. Faced with a nuked Los Angeles, she had to repair the entire city's power grid and electrical infrastructure, replace God knows how many light bulbs, make sure they're all turned on, and then just hope she or her minions didn't miss a wire or trip a fuse or something. And all on the off chance that she gets her cold fusion reactor. Because heaven forbid she focused all her resources on getting the cold fusion thingy first and then get to repairing the grid. Oh no, because then she couldn't have had her big throw the switch, we did it, Rose grand finale.
What do you suppose your brotherhood would do with infinite power? Maybe you can stop them. Maybe you can't.
Moldaver doesn't know who Maximus is and miss seeing that Lucy knows him. Why does she assume he would want to stop his people? Why is she not holding a gun on this random member of the Brotherhood hovering around her open-air office in the dark?
Oh, hail Maximus! That shall be knight hereafter!
As a semi-disgraced squire, I'm pretty sure declaring someone a knight is above Dane's pay grade. Has Dogmeat just been waiting here the whole time? Remarkably loyal dog to someone who stabbed him, abandoned him, and named him Dogmeat. The finale music and the fact that we have less than a minute left tells me this skyline is supposed to mean something important. And I'm, once again, feeling left out. Would it really be that much of a bother to clue us non-gamers in so that we have a reason to be excited for season 2? I mean, I'm still Googling the old vague stuff. And now you're going to gamble by trying to also new Vegas? A wink wink.
This is probably the worst hotel we've ever stayed in.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Howard.
Well, now, if I found that kind of money, I'd be in Mexico by now.
Okay, here's your penis.
Man, check.
Speak. I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit.
Believe it or not, I don't spend my entire day sitting around trying to memorize the f***ing numbers to my f***ing bank accounts.
Bite my shiny metal ass.
He's right behind me, isn't he? You wouldn't have to put up with me for too long.
It's free real estate.
Hello, Mr. Hindle, or as they called you around the hospital, Zap.
Will Zig. I'm calling you out!
That's the emergency alert triggered by the power dropping below 5%.
Go nuts.
What will I do?
Take this thing out of the case and stick it up your nose.
This is Petty Officer Shortsight. You missed your check-in.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
What happened?
Had a slight weapons malfunction, but everything's perfectly all right now. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
It's a trap!
Trying to go under. You can with 3 barrels on him, not with 3, you can't.
It's my industrial strength hairdryer, and I can't live without it.
3 tons on him. You're gonna need a bigger boat, right?
Welcome to Joe's apartment.
Roger, my name is Roger. My name is Roger. My name is Jeff.
What did you say your name was?
Lucy McLean.
Mrs. McLean, how nice to make your acquaintance.
I asked him all sorts of questions. Who he is, who he works for.
Did she really want him? What had he done to deserve this bounty? Does God exist? Who invented liquid soap and why?
Best you try your luck behind that door.
The deal is worth $8,757. Is it behind door number 1, or door number 2, or door number 3?
Martha. My name is Martha.
Why did you say that name?
The T-Boys!
That's what they'll call us.
We've been planting potatoes.
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
We've been planting potatoes.
What's potatoes, Brussels?
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice, but we did.
You've been shot.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Find anything interesting?
It smells like old lady pants in here.
Yes, I'm old. I wear pants.
You want to have sex?
You mean use my
Sexy time for you, says me.
They gave me a robe.
I know.
3 words for you. Treat yourself.
Hollywood is the past. Forget Hollywood.
There's a great future in plastics. Think about it.
It gets all big and hard like a big pimple, and then it pops.
We love popping pimples.
I'm a knight. A knight of the Brotherhood.
We are the knights who say... Nee.
I'm not a communist, Mr. Howard.
Communism is just a red herring. Like all members of the oldest profession, I'm a capitalist.
Mike Wazowski.
My name isn't Titus, it's
Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Have a seat, my dear boy, and let's take a look at that tattered Tootsie of yours.
Oh.
I've seen worse.
I'm sorry.
Man, this shit is awesome.
People are gonna be upset when they hear about this.
You're all gonna laugh at you. Another dog in this world like old Belle was.
Wow, that's really got that thing on it.
Well, it's not on it, it's in it.
Tommy, how's the peeping?
Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, do you, buddy boy?
He's invented a poison.
The Grouch's motto is, your next piece of trash could be your best piece of trash.
Find me.
I will look for you. I will find you, and I will kill you.
Wait.
So, if what you say is true, and you can lead us to the relic, and together
We can end this destructive conflict and bring order to the galaxy.
Wait! I am the overseer here. My orders must be followed.
Oh, you're in charge. Well, I got some bad news for you, Dwayne. From up here, it doesn't look like you're in charge of jack shit.
Yeah, that scene where you shoot Joey Toro in the face?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. That was awesome.
What would you do if your ornithopter went down out here?
You wouldn't want to go down out there. It's worm territory.
Try looking into that place where you dare not look. You'll find me there staring back at you.
Maybe you can stop them. Maybe you can't. Maybe all you can do is try.
Do or do not. There is no try.